like he's on a little pattern, boys. Oh, did he come up and crunch it? Son. This is that same deal. I'm just flipping to these bushes. I think it's helping. The wind's blowing a bit. I mean, that's a 2.5, almost 3. That's a good fish for out here, man. But the wind's blowing a little bit, and I think that's helping. And there's a little current churning, and it seems like I've hit a bunch of bushes. You can kind of tell how this one sticks out a little bit more, and there's more like tangly little like twigs than that, and it sticks out and it sticks underwater a little bit more with that mess. And that seems to be the key. If I can get it back in there, because there's little cuts and avenues that you can just kind of skip that bait in. I've been having to switch hands though, because I can't flip as low with my left hand, so I've been kind of having to switch to my right hand and kind of really, I guess, yo-yo it down in there. Whenever I fish wood or anything along those lines, or anything like riverish, I like tubes. Tubes are kind of the finesse version of jigs, and this is just a tube. I forget what it's called. It's a new bait. It's the Davy Height tube, and I got it on a 1/2 ounce with 65-ounce braid or 65-pound braid. But it's just like a little tube bait, 1/2 ounce, kind of funky looking. It's a little beat up at the moment, but it's freaking cool. Flipping wood, baby. Flipping wood. You see that? That's a good fish. That's a good chunk. That's a good fish for this river, man. I flipped my mats and they started turning on a little later. But there's all this. You can see it. I mean, it's just these bushes that hang over, and there aren't too many of them, so they're pretty isolated. But last time I was here, this is something that I wanted to hit. So I figured at the end of the day, the ramp is just up the way. I figured at the end of the day, I'd hit them. But basically what it is we're on the main river. So the wind, this isn't a real river. It's kind of dug out, but it kind of acts like a river. We got a nice east wind, so there's current pushing through here. And it drops off pretty stiff right here. Like the edge of these bushes is in like 8 to 12 foot of water. So what I was thinking is these fish will suspend either like in the bush or under the bush, and maybe even behind something with the current pushing through. But usually, I mean, main river, main lake, it's kind of the same deal. So you catch a bigger fish out there. But I was catching them decent in the mats, so I figured I'd leave it alone. But I got a few more bushes, so see if we can't do some more. That was kind of cool, man. guys have been asking about my rod and reel setups, and I thought this vid would be a good opportunity to show you what my general all-around standard flipping setup is. And it's something I kind of just got into. If you guys have been watching the vids for a while, you know I was using the Bass Pro Extreme series quite a bit, and I had a 7.6 heavy action. It was a one-piece rod that I really relied on for kind of my general flipping. I really didn't use it too much for mat flipping, but any emergent vegetation, any wood flipping, that was really my standby. But I broke it and they stopped making it. So I kind of had to modify in that. So this is a good opportunity to kind of show you what I moved to, kind of tell you a little bit about why I made that change, and tell you how I like it. What I got right here, and this is what I was using in the vid, it's a Dobyns 7.66 Savvy. Basically, it's a heavy action flipping stick. It's a 7-foot 6-inch flipping stick. On the reel I got on here is a Shimano Curado. It's the 200E. It's last year's version, and I got it spooled up with 65-pound Power Pro. I got some red stuff on here. To be perfectly frank, there's really no special reason for it. Saw some red stuff on sale, picked it up, and I'm using it. That's just the way it works. But basically, the rod is great. It's a lower end, not a lower end rod, but it's kind of a middle range rod. Dobyns makes a few different levels of rods, and the Savvy is kind of the entry level. But I'm happy with it. It's so much lighter than my Extreme 7.6. It has a lot more sensitivity to it, and it has kind of a cool action. It's a fast action, and it really feels kind of like a soft rod when you first pick it up. When you first start flipping with it, personally, I was kind of concerned with being able to get fish out of some of the heavy grass that we get here. But after my first 7.5-pound fish, I was definitely convinced. It's got a bit of play in the tip, which allows you to really feel the bait and kind of flip it and yo-yo the bait up in there. But when it comes down to it, when you really lay into a fish, it's going to bend about a foot, foot and a half, and then all of a sudden that backbone's going to kick in and it's going to pop that fish out. But you can see here, this is basically the rig that I was using. It wasn't this in particular tube right here. But what I was flipping is a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight to a 7/0. This is a Owner wide gap plus hook. It's a gigantic hook, but it's great for flipping big tubes. And as you can see right here, I have my double bobber stopper set up. Just saves you time on the water, keeps that bait pegged. But that's about it, guys. 7.66 Dobyns Savvy with a Shimano Curado 200E. Great setup for flipping. I've yet to burn one of these reels out and break one of these rods on a fish, so I've been really pleased. It's a lot lighter, so there's a lot less fatigue going on, and so much more sensitivity. Feeling those bites, as you can see, when I was flipping to some of those trees, those fish really kind of just crept up and ate the bait. You really had to feel for them, and this rod played a big role in that. But check them out, both online. Dobyns 7.66 Savvy and a Shimano Curado 200E. Tight lines, guys.